Hey guys, going to be reviewing the XR Classic today. Super excited to have you on the channel. So, going to be giving you guys my first thoughts. This is the first Onewheel that I've ever had. And by the way, if you aren't subscribed, make sure that you do subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. It has been super fun. We're now on just a nice little road. The thing that I'm struggling with is fishtailing. So I wobble as soon as I go like a certain speed, probably around 10, 15 miles an hour. I just start to fishtail and then I have to slow down. And I think it has a lot to do with your muscles that you're using as you're on the board, because you're using muscles that you've never used before if you've never had a Onewheel. Like your calf muscles and your foot muscles. And that's what I've noticed is my feet are on fire after riding for like 10, 15 minutes. So I have to take a quick break, relax those muscles. But from some tips that I got online is just weaving back and forth really helps so that you're evenly distributing those muscles so that one's not getting overused. I'm going to show you guys the view I'm looking at. Absolutely beautiful ride. Just it's Memorial Day weekend, so it's a little bit busier here in Utah, as it is anywhere in America. But we're up in the mountains, and yeah, we just have a ton of roads to ride, so it should be super fun. And I can kind of give you guys just my thoughts on the board. So this is the first board I've had, like I said, and it took me about 10 minutes to where I could actually ride it without crazy wobbles and stuff like that. I have really enjoyed it. It's one of the funnest things. It's hard to not have a smile on your face while you're riding it, because it is just so much fun, especially when you're riding through a beautiful place like this. Probably going like 10 miles an hour right now. I can't go much faster. My highest speed that I've gone with it is 18.5 the other day. And I think it's because I wasn't thinking about fishtailing, which is probably why I didn't fishtail. So maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, I'm gonna try carving today, back and forth a little bit more so that I can not overexert my muscles in my legs and in my feet that are trying to get used to this. So I've ridden this is my third day with it. No, this is my fourth day. No, this is my third. I've ridden this 3 days in a row. And my goal is to just keep riding it every day until I get good enough to where I'm not fishtailing. Then I'll probably take a little bit of a break. But it's funny, I'll ride it for an hour, I'll go like 6-7 miles. And I say to myself, oh, my muscles need a break from that. I'll go to bed and then I come back. And that's all I want to do when I wake up, is get back on the board and ride. Because it is just so much fun. There's a couple of cars coming, but we've gone to college and we've ridden up the hills. And there's just a ton of grass hills and grass patches that you can go on while you're there. But this thing does amazing off-road. Absolutely crazy how well it does. So it's just as fun off-road as it is on-road. Takes a lot more balance off-road. Took me a while to get used to the grass, but it's just a all-around board that you can do anything with. This one's a good board just from the reviews that I've read. Like if you get yourself a Pint or a Pint X, you're not going to be able to go as far a distance as you would with this board. Plus, you're not going to be able to go off-road as much. You could get away with it, but it's not going to be as smooth of a ride. So this one's going to give you the best bang for your buck. This board comes in at $1,900 with tax. You're at like $2,000. So I think that they're pretty dang expensive, way more expensive than I thought they'd be, but not absolutely crazy. Before I got into one-wheeling, a few days ago, I would have assumed that this board would be like $500, $600, but no, 4 times that. but worth it in my opinion. I think it's really, really fun. So a couple of other things. The further I go, the more used to it I get. But I've actually been doing some one-wheel drills that I saw online to be able to get used to turning toe side and heel side. And they've helped a ton. So I'm going to show you guys those drills right now. All right, so the first one's the figure 8 drill. So you're literally just going to be drawing figure 8. So we're going toe side and then heel side. So what's really cool about this board is that when you lean back, you stop. When you lean forward, you go. So it seems like it would be scary, like if there's a stop sign or something, you might shoot through it, but it's literally almost intuitive that you lean back when you're coming up to a stop sign anyway. And it kind of seems like you just will this board to do what you want. So wherever your front hip is facing is where the board's gonna go. And people that are really good in what I've been practicing is actually going regular. I'm normally goofy, but you should be able to go both ways. So this is another drill going back and forth from goofy to regular. And you want to get comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable on regular. I'm not even comfortable on goofy yet, but we're trying it all. So regular, I'm doing the figure 8 drill as well. This has been the most helpful drill for just feeling comfortable on the board, going back and forth. And then the last one that I've been doing, I'll show you guys. We could talk about that too, bailing off the board so that you don't eat it. I've ate it once. I feel like everybody needs to eat it once to get the full effect of the board. Okay, so the next drill is just standing in place, just like this, and then leaning back on heels, and then leaning forward. As you guys can see, I do not claim to be good at this board. I'm just a beginner trying to figure it out. But we're leaning back, and instead of standing up on our, I'll show you guys. Instead of standing up on our toes like this, I'm actually leaning in from my ankles to show you guys that from the side. Leaning in on my ankles, not standing from the toes. This is what you want because it's bending your knees. Your balance is going to be a whole lot better as you're turning. That's essentially all that you're doing as you're turning, is you're leaning in on your ankles, or you're sitting back in a chair to go heel side. So while I'm doing this drill, just in this balanced position, and I'm leaning in, that's toe side, and then heel side is sitting on my butt. Leaning in, then we're just coming back and forth from that position. So that's been super helpful. And I've noticed if I do a little warm up prior, I feel a lot more comfortable on the board. So those are a couple of drills. Let's continue the ride. Oh yeah, I want to show you guys one more thing. So getting off the board, that was hard to get used to. But what you do is you lift your front heel off of the board when you're at 1 mile per hour, just like this. Lift, lean back, and it'll put it on. Whenever the one wheel is sitting, it's sitting in this position. So whether you're goofy or regular, this is the side of the board that will always be sitting on the ground. This side of the board will always be up. So you're gonna lean to the side of the board that sits on the ground. So that's one way to get off. The next way, which I'm not very good at and is sketchy, but I guess is easier, supposed to be easier, is you just lean back as you're going, which I can't do it yet. Lean back and sit the board down. And then you take your front foot off. So let me try that one more time. Go, lean back. Not bad. Not exactly smooth, but there's my first one. All right. Now we continue. We're actually going to the ice cream store. I'm gonna meet my son and my dad there, and then I'll catch up with you guys after. As you can see, there's just a little bit of getting used to things, as is with anything that you use. But man, is it fun and sketchy. Something I'm realizing, so now I'm going against the wind, whereas before I was going with the wind or not even with the wind. But now that I'm going against the wind, it's noticeably harder to not fishtail. So just kind of focusing on weaving the board so that that doesn't happen. But man, is this thing fun. I'm just gonna keep doing drills, getting really comfortable weaving and going a little bit faster, staying smart. I'm definitely gonna invest in some wrist guards. No point in me spraining my wrist or breaking my wrist. And like I said, I've had some falls on this board. It's just gonna happen. But the funnest part about this board is that you can do literally anything with it. You can go off-roading with it. My brother just barely got his 5 days ago. He's way better than I am. But he went off-roading on this trail called Bear Claw Poppy in town. And it's a mountain bike trail, and he did the entire trail on this Onewheel, on the XR Classic. So this thing can absolutely kill it off-road. It's not gonna be like a GTS off-road. GTS is, I think they go up to like 32, 36 miles per hour, somewhere around there, which is insane. But they have a lot more power, a lot more torque. This has enough power for anybody that's been one-wheeling for a while and for anybody that's just starting one-wheeling. This definitely has enough power for you. I would recommend this board to anybody, but like I said, I haven't tried the Pint. I was put off by the Pint just simply because it doesn't have as much mileage, doesn't have as much torque, and you're not going to be able to go off-road with it. You're not going to be able to go on grass with it, really. It's going to have a harder time going up hills, whereas this absolutely kills it up hills. Some hills at the college, which I'll put some footage in, we're shooting up steep hills. It's hard to make it up them, but if you can build up enough speed, this thing absolutely murders the hill. So whereas with a Pint, there's zero chance that it's making it up that hill. If you want to go all in on a board, you're going to want to get the GTS. From what everybody says, it's the smoothest, it's the fastest, but it's also twice as much as this one. And if I were just starting, which I am, and obviously I made the decision to get the XR Classic, that's what I'd get. This board's probably going to last me for the next year before I would even consider getting the GTS, but only time will tell. I guess you guys will kind of see that from YouTube if I end up getting other boards and stuff like that, but I've absolutely loved it. Look at that. Just an absolutely beautiful place. We got the mountains. Love the board. But yeah, if you're struggling with wobbling, I have definitely noticed that just doing carving the board back and forth as you're riding helps a ton. Also helps with that coordination, getting used to it. But definitely the most useful tip that I've had is leaning with your ankles. If you want to go toe side, you're leaning in, putting your knees over your toes. That's really all that it is. And after that, it's pretty much you're just willing the board to go where you want it to go. And it goes. So it's a whole lot of fun, such a fun board. Got this view now. Let me show you guys where we're headed. Some private property up here. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful place to be. Come up here in Onewheel. Onewheels are great for commuting. I've seen a ton of videos of people that commute, even in New York City, with a Onewheel. I don't think I'd ever do that, even if I was really comfortable on it. That sounds scary to me. But if you were a commuter, from what everybody says, the Pint is good enough. Again, you got to check the mileage though. How far are you commuting? But for the XR Classic, it's going to get you anywhere you need to go without you having to charge. You can do round trips, you know, going 9-10 miles. You go 10 miles to work, 10 miles back, and you're going to be completely fine because of the capacity of the battery. There are a couple of things with the battery that matter. If you're going uphill, obviously it's going to take more battery. The battery regenerates if you're going downhill. Regenerative. Can't think of the word. but it'll regenerate as you're going downhill. So if I'm going downhill, I'm not gonna lose as much battery. I might actually gain a little bit of battery from going downhill. It's a lot like a Tesla. So I absolutely love the board. Definitely get yourself one. I would highly recommend it. It's hard to ride these without a smile on your face. Okay guys, that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe if you wanna see more content like this. These will become more competent as time goes on and I get better at the Onewheel. Thank you for joining me. We'll see ya.